So you've never been on a cruise before, but should you? Are you missing out? But what if you hate it? You've got the party cruise, you've got the family cruise, you've got the adult only cruise, and all of these cruises have different vibes. So the real question isn't should you take a cruise, it's which cruise would actually fit you. And once you understand that, everything changes. Let's get into it. My name is Jen, and welcome back to Cruiseaholics Anonymous. Most people who've never cruised aren't actually anti-cruise. They're afraid of booking the wrong vacation and being stuck with it. And that makes sense, because cruising isn't one size fits all. I don't like crowds is often one of the first things that people say for why they've never taken a cruise. They picture packed pools, long lines, and zero personal space. And if that's the image in your head, of course cruising doesn't sound that great. But here's the thing. Cruise ships don't operate like a single crowded event. They have dozens of small experiences happening at the same time. So while one area is busy, another area is completely quiet. While one group is dining, another group is at a show. Another group is in port. Another group is sleep. I am in that sleep group. You have your lively spaces, but there are also quiet decks, empty lounges, and a bunch of peaceful spaces that a lot of first-time cruisers don't even know exist until you're on board. And also, crowds can sometimes be fun. For sure, they're predictable. And once you know when they form and where they are, they're easy to avoid if you don't want all that, okay? That realization alone is enough for many people to go from absolutely not to, oh, okay, I can see that. Reason number 2, I don't like the idea of being trapped at sea. Now, this is something that's rarely said out loud, but I've heard it from a few clients, and it's pretty powerful. You're far from land, so there's no easy exit, no control. But what most people don't realize until they're on board is how secure modern cruising feels. Modern cruise ships are some of the most regulated, monitored, and prepared environments in travel. They have medical facilities, safety drills, state-of-the-art navigation systems, several contingency plans, and all of these are built into the experience. I recently did a tour of the bridge on the Harmony of the Seas and got a chance to see some of these modern navigation systems. They're following planned routes, monitored constantly, always supported by technology. They're monitoring weather systems, and they have medical facilities that are really like small hospitals. But if you've never cruised, you don't know that. Many first-timers say that this fear disappears within hours, not because they force themselves to ignore it, because you actually don't feel like you're stuck at sea. You feel like you're in a small city, surrounded by all of your friends who don't have to work that week. If this is helping you decide whether cruising is right for you, go ahead and join the channel. I break cruising down for people who've never done it before. No hype, no pressure, just the stuff you actually need to know. You think you'll probably get seasick. Now, this concern is definitely valid, and it stops a lot of people from going on their first cruise. You think there's going to be constant motion, constant discomfort, and no escape. Totally valid. What they don't know is that modern cruise ships are designed for stability, and most itineraries are going to sail on calm routes. Even people who get motion sickness in cars or small boats often cruise without issue. Here's the reassurance that many people don't hear until later. You have options, and preparation matters. Cabin placement matters. For example, if you may be more sea sensitive, you'll want to avoid cabins at the front of the ship. There's also the option of seasick pills and patches, which a lot of sea sensitive cruisers have said works wonders for them. And you will want to avoid the months of severe weather like hurricane season, although you'll find the lowest prices during this time. For a lot of first-timers, seasickness is a fear that never even shows up. There are many people who say that their fear of seasickness kept them from cruising for years, only to realize they felt nothing at all. And even on days with movement, most describe it as a gentle rocking rather than anything dramatic. And honestly, that gentle rocking provides some of the best sleep I've ever had. Cruise pricing can look complicated, and you may be worried that the price you see isn't actually the price you're going to get. You've heard stories about drink packages, gratuities, excursions, all these other charges, and it feels like you're signing up for all of these different things that you thought were included. But here's the thing. Cruises are one of the most controllable vacations financially. Once you understand what's included, you realize that most extras are optional. You decide what to add, you decide what to skip, and you can lock in most of your vacation costs before you even leave the house. And when you know what's extra, you can pre-book those extras during different times of the year when they're on sale and save some serious dollars. A lot of first-time cruisers come home surprised by how little they spent compared to their other vacations. I did a video breaking down what all is included in your cruise and what all is extra, and you can check that out here. A lot of people think they'll be bored. I hear this one a lot. People imagining long days and long nights with nothing to do, or long nights where they're stuck watching shows they couldn't care less about. And I think a lot of this comes from not seeing yourself represented in cruise advertising. Let me tell you what I mean. Cruise ads, social media, whatever, tends to highlight families with young kids, couples in their 20s to 40s, party scenes, nightlife, and all that's real. But if you're someone who's child-free, not coupled, older, introverted, a solo traveler, someone who doesn't identify with the party vacation energy, then you don't see yourself in those images, and it's easy to assume cruising won't match your energy. However, my friends, everyone in the categories that I just stated will be on that ship, not just you. And you can customize your experience. Whether you want constant stimulation or total rest, you can find that. For my solo travelers like me who may be concerned about being seen as the solo traveler, actually, nobody gives a rip. I have made so many friends on my solo cruises, and some I'm still in touch with. So you won't be bored. Some people may feel like a cruise is too much to plan and it's overwhelming. Now, this is where a lot of people stall. People will start researching cruises and get overwhelmed pretty quickly. There are different ships, different classes of ships, different dining styles, different packages, different ports, boarding times. It feels like too much before you've even left the house. For someone who's never cruised, the planning alone can feel like a full-time job. And when something feels overwhelming, many people choose to avoid it altogether. What helps is knowing that much of this planning is totally optional. It's not required at all. In fact, very little is required up front because your cruise includes everything that you're going to need. A lot of experienced cruisers actually come back and say they overplanned their first cruise and later realized they could have shown up with way less preparation and still had an amazing time. The other thing is that planning is what a travel agent is for. Just tell them where you want to go, what you want to do, and for how long, and let them handle the rest. And the best part of a travel agent is that you don't pay them. The cruise line does. So you get your very own cruise planner absolutely free. And you might even get some additional perks from your travel agent. So here's the real question. If most people who avoided cruises ended up enjoying it, if most fears come from not knowing how it works, if the biggest risk is simply trying something new, then as someone in the industry, I'm telling you guys, most first-time cruisers are never last-time cruisers. I'm laughing because most people come back say that they wish they had done it sooner. If you've been on the fence, that hesitation might not be a stop sign. It might just be a little pause. But let's go in 2026. Just do it. Just consider your options. Consider what all is available. Talk to a travel agent about it. If this video has resonated with you or helped relieve some of your concerns, then take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to answer and break down all of your cruise questions. So welcome to Cruise Life. I'll see you on board.
All I do is cruise, 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 no matter what.